Hey, thank you so much, Jay. You're awesome. It's so great to hear that energy and enthusiasm. You know, people, this is really is an amazing opportunity. I have been involved in real estate, lending, and tax for over 30 years, team building, and having a great time, having a wonderful career. And I look at this as a singular point in my life to move forward and do some amazing, really good things. You know, one of the biggest challenges I see in America today is that there's an entire block of people who are having a difficult time participating fully in the American dream. Number one in the American dream is home ownership, and number two is financial freedom. And what I want to show you tonight is an absolute and clear pathway to ownership of a home in the American dream and the pathway to financial freedom in the American dream. And so it's perfectly fine with me if Jay wants to get excited and enthused, because I feel the same way. And if I can help people buying homes and enjoying that portion of the American dream, and I can help thousands of people make more money, gain more financial freedom, then I feel like I'm accomplishing the greatest good I possibly can, and that's why my Creator put here on this planet. So, well, we're going to talk tonight about this amazing opportunity with fundmyhome.org, and let me move on. So what are you looking for? Are you looking for the chance to buy a home, or are you looking for a business opportunity? Tonight, we're going to talk about both. I want to introduce you to a phenomenal program called fundmyhome.org, and I want to mention a hat tip, if I may, to Stephen Leach and Carlos Bustamini. These guys are amazing people. I've come to know them. I've come to pray with them. I've come to really connect with these men, and they're great visionaries. And normally tonight, you would be hearing from Stephen or Carlos, and they are serving us. They're traveling all over Florida and around the country today so that they can pick up videos and do other things that are serving us to help us to be better in our business. So the idea of fundmyhome.org, we're a peer-to-peer social media referring society. And what are we referring about? Well, it's a down payment assistance program. You see, there's over 1,300 organizations in the United States, according to my own personal count, that have various down payment assistant opportunities. But we found as many or most of them have significant flaws, significant errors that just aren't getting the job done. And we want to help people is provide home ownership opportunities through down payment assistance grants directly issued by a 501c3 nonprofit organization. So our goal is to provide thousands of dollars, $10, $20, $30, $40,000 or more in down payment assistance, and hopefully we can come to the point where that down payment comes to zero, where there's almost no out-of-pocket cost. Now, that's not going to happen every single time. It's a mission, it's a goal, but it'll certainly help so many thousands of families, thousands of individuals, thousands of parties across the country. They want to buy a home. And what's the biggest challenge of homeownership today? Well, we've got this amazing economy. I mean, the stock market's booming, lower unemployment we've had in my lifetime. We have this amazing economy. But we still have an entire group of people that for one reason or the other, they're still having a difficult time coming up with their down payment. And we're going to help them to solve that problem. So fundmyhome.org is not a lender. We are not a lender. In fact, when people ask me questions about lending, I just say, I have 30 years of lending experience. I've got the titles, the careers, the licensure. I'm not involved in that in any way. I help people write grants. I help people to gain the money they need so that they can mute that there. Sorry about that. I help people gain the income. I help people gain what they need in the form of a down payment so that they can get their purchase bought. Now, fundmyhome.org not only provides down payment assistance, but they also, on a case-by-case basis, may be able to help our borrowers or our clients, and not our borrowers, it's the wrong system. They may be able to help our clients with things like a little bit of a challenge getting out from a small collection, and that would improve their credit report, or a little bit of a challenge getting out from an old judgment, which improve their credit report. Our goal is to help our consumers, our clients. Our goal is to help them so that they can buy a home. So membership to fundmyhome.org is free, but it's also by invitation only. It's by you've got to be participating with an existing associate member. And so a great guy, a man that I love dearly, his name's Stephen Edgen. Steve introduced me a while back to this program. I heard it the first night and I was like, get me in. At the time period, it's $300. And I wrote a check $300 and I was excited to do that. But we've been able to waive some of those programs and reduce some things. So right now, the opportunity to be involved as a member and as affiliate associate with fundmyhome.org is $175. And with that, you're going to get a terrific website that helps you to accomplish so many things you need to accomplish. And you're going to get some video material that helps you to explain and share the word in a really dynamic way. Now, Stephen Edgen and I and a whole bunch of others, we spent $300 for the opportunity, and we were glad for it. And today, because of the way some structures have changed in the company, you can participate in fundmyhome.org for just $175. Now, there's some sort of a back office and maintenance fee that goes on as well. Every month, there's some funds that are exchanged for accounting and that kind of stuff. It's never significant, and it's something I'm glad to be involved in. So one of the things about this, about the grant that I want to be clear about is that other programs will say, well, you've got to be so poor that even if you got the grant, you couldn't even afford the house. We have no income limits. And you might be asking yourself, well, how is that? Well, here's the deal. As I said, there's about 1,300 different programs across the country. Most of those programs are sponsored by some sort of a government agency. And as you know, the government doesn't have to play by the same rules that we do. We're a private foundation. Well, fundmyhome.org is associated with a private foundation. And so the government agencies, they might be able to discriminate and say, well, you've got to be low income, or you've got to be born green with purple spots, or your first language has to be Klingon, or whatever they say. They can make those rules. But we have a no discrimination policy. And because of that, then you don't have to have low income, you don't have to have high income. We're just excited to help people organize and participate. Now, what's important is that people follow a specific sequence. And that what's going to happen is that if you look at some of the other programs out there, it's a mess. You go and you try to get a down payment grant in, I don't know, in Arkansas someplace. I'm making this up. I don't know, right? In another place. And you find, well, the down payment folks want you to have, they want you to go and get a mortgage approval with no down payment. And then they want to go and get you to get a home purchase agreement in hand with no down payment. Well, the mortgage loan officer is not going to approve your loan if you don't have any down payment money. And the real estate agents aren't going to be too excited about you tying up some piece of property when you don't have any down payment either. But then once you have the down payment, then you get to go down to some local government agency and see if they're going to help out or not. And that's completely backwards. It just doesn't work. And it's a real challenge. So we've reversed that process. And we say, start here. Start with one of your friends, family members, associates of fundmyhome.org. They're going to help to introduce you to the grant program. You're going to get complete grant approval before you even start the mortgage process. And then it's kind of a simultaneous play. What you'll see is you get grant approval, and then it goes right into the mortgage process. The mortgage people, they clearly understand what we're doing. They know what our program's about. We issue the grant approval. The mortgage folks, they issue that we work directly with, they issue the loan approval. Then you go off and you work with one of our realtors we're directly with, and they help you to buy the house. It is a streamlined process, you see. And that way we can help people from beginning to end. And everybody who we're involved with, they get it, they understand it, they're participating, we're online, we can help more people that way. So these are non-repayable grant, folks, and that is up to $48,000. Now, I'm in Arizona, so a $48,000 grant would be on a big house, $750,000, something like that. That's a lot of money out here. But if you're in Southern California, boy, you're not living in much if you're spending $750,000. If you're in other places at $750,000, that doesn't buy too much, sadly. So what we see in Arizona on $250,000 houses, frequently in the range of about $15,000 to $16,000. On a $300,000 house, be around $18,000. I'm just making up off, just kind of estimating off the top of my head. But that's a lot of money, and it really makes a change in the way that people approach the marketplace. Not only may they be able to buy a house, but they may be able to buy a house at better rates. They may be able to buy it at better conditions. They may be able to accomplish more having more down payment than if not. And let's remember that nothing we do ever has to be repaid. All of the grants that we're involved in, non-repayable. It's gifted. There's no lien. There's no second. There's no timeline on it. You never have to pay this back. Credit scores. Well, we can help, on a case-by-case, we can help people down to a 580 credit score. Now, understand, if somebody's got perfect credit, they're going to be rewarded by a lender far better than somebody's got scratch and dent credit. But we want to help people from all over the place. And if you got perfect credit, we're welcome to have you in. If you got less than perfect credit, we're glad to have you in as well. We'd love to help you. The process will typically take about 4 to 5 days from the time period that someone completes their entire application. Now, there's a challenge, right? that's complete their entire application. So if you're getting a call from somebody saying, hey, I haven't heard from anybody, well, you could probably be sure they haven't fully completed their application. That's the first place to check. As we've got a pretty good processing center. We've got processors that are professional. They know what they're doing. They're well trained, and they're motivated to get these deals done. They get paid the same way we do by getting deals done. And so we would expect to be a 4 to 5 day approval process. Now, we're about ready to launch a massive campaign. So if things slow down a little bit, and it may take us 10 days or something, have a little patience with us because we're going to be growing. We're going to be growing massively. We've already had enormous growth in the last couple of months, but what we're about to set off to is really going to explode. So once you've gotten your loan approval, 4 to 5 days, you're going to go to your lender. With us, we're going to take you to the lender together. Lender's going to give you approval. You're going to go with one of our real estate agents. You're going to go out and you're going to find your house, and you're going to be excited about it. You're going to make that offer. Once you make that offer, then you should be expected to close in 45 days, 30 to 45 days. We're not going to slow down this time at all. Participating with fundmyhome.org is not going to delay or keep you out of the marketplace in some way that's unusual. And these are the challenges that Stephen and Carlos identified. They have years of real estate and lending and business background. They saw the problems in the marketplace. They saw the problems helping thousands and thousands of homeowners to get what the homeowners needed, which is down payment assistance. They saw the roadblocks, and they had the vision to put together a phenomenal foundation like this to really help out. So it's simple, folks. You just follow the process. You start with the home buyer registration, you go into the grant application, and then from there you continue on until you've acquired your house. Process shouldn't take longer than 30 to 45 days start to finish. So how does this all work? Well, as an affiliate, what you're going to do is pretty simple. You're going to share your link with your prospect. And if you participate in our company, you're going to be given, you see that right up here, we've got this, it's yourname.realestatemortgage. That's you. That's your site. They're going to sign for you and build for you a website so you have complete access so you can create these grant applications and these other systems that these purchasers need. You're going to direct them right to your website. The website's been provided by fundmyhome.org as part of your membership. And then you're going to help them to go to the Home Buyer Navigate Here tab. They're going to go through frequent FAQs, questions, help them understand what they're doing. We're going to show them a little bit about the workflow, show them the supported documentation they're going to need. Now, folks, we don't write loans, but we want to make sure this process is so efficient that we're going to simultaneously process the grant with our lender, and our lender is going to need those supported documents to do the same thing. So to the home buyer, it's going to feel a lot to them like they're just applying and moving through a mortgage process. And then you complete with the home buyer, just a home buyer registration and the grant application. The home buyer registration is a single page, not a major deal. It's name, address, phone number, and email, that kind of thing. And then you're going to share with them the grant application. What's exciting about this is that your identifier is encoded into your website. So when you share your website, they're going to be linked into you, and then you share with them your credentials that they have to use in order to proceed to make sure that you're participating, that that the company recognizes you, they recognize you, and of course that what's great is you get paid. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at how the home buyer registration process works. Well, you come up here. This is going to be your website that you're looking at. This is a mock-up of one of our standard websites. Mine looks like this. Yours will look like this. And you're going to come to the home buyer registration tab. And from that registration tab, then you're going to drop down and you're going to help them to start their online application after that. And in their online application, they're going to go through 5 different steps. It's going to look to them very much like a mortgage application. In fact, all that information is probably going to drop right into their mortgage application as they move forward. Now, we don't collect any application fees. We don't charge our folks. We stay completely out of the money, right? And that's just amazing. We're seeing people getting $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 grants, and we're not taking a dime. But there is one thing I want to be a caveat, and I'm not sure exactly. We don't take the money, but somebody's got to pay for a credit report. And so there's a $24 credit report fee, and make sure that people are clear. That's per applicant. So if you got Tom and Sherry, or Tom and Tom, or Mary and Mary, if you got a couple of different applicants, You have 2 different credit report fees. But we don't take that money that goes into a credit report. That's for the credit report agencies. And it's essential that they have this credit report and they pay for it, because that data is going to come out of the credit report agency and be delivered directly into the processing software. And so people can't just offer up their credit report, things like that. We have to have all that specific data that's current and drops right into software. Now, once the home buyer gets under contract, they're going to need still. So we've started them out where they've gotten the grant approval, and they've gone to their mortgage, and they've gotten the mortgage approval through our system, and they've gone out and they shopped. And once they get the offer and acceptance, and the earnest money gets deposited into escrow, then we're going to get paid, folks. If the earnest money is deposited in escrow on Wednesday or Thursday, we get paid on the following Friday. That's 2, 3, 4 weeks before closing. And that's really important for us to understand, because we are not in the real estate business. You do not. Now, I do, and several other people do, because it's our experience. I'm not giving up my real estate license. It's valuable to me, but I don't need it. I don't have to have a loan license. I don't have to have a real estate license. I'm licensed to teach real estate agents here in Arizona, but I don't have to have any of those things here, and neither do you, because we are not part of the real estate transaction. Our role is helping people with a grant, and that is separate from the transaction. We get paid whether the transaction happens or not. Now, let me repeat that again. We get paid as associates in this company whether the transaction completely finalizes or not. All they have to do is get the earnest money, get into escrow, start the process, and we're going to get paid. Now, I asked Carlos about that one time, and I'm going to make fun of Carlos. I love him. He's got this beautiful, rich Latin Ricardo Montalban accent, and I'm going to play around with a little bit, and I hope he knows I'm teasing him. But I said, Carlos, why aren't we being charged back? How come we don't lose money? How are you affording to do this? If you're giving away all this money to us in this marketing fee, then what happens if they don't close on the loan? And in his beautiful baritone Latino, he says, Mr. Ferris, we're giving them lots of money. If they're not going to use the money on this house, they're just going to buy another. And I thought that was beautiful. He's right. It will happen. You know, escrows collapse. People change minds. Appraisals don't come back. People say, this isn't working. You know, there was a gator found in the basement in Florida. I don't know. But there's reasons that people aren't completing that transaction. And we don't have to pay back our marketing fees, and the borrower purchaser continue going forward on to the next property, go ahead and close on that transaction, take advantage of the same opportunity. I think that's pretty phenomenal. I don't know about you. So once down payment assistance and mortgage loan are pre-approved, then we're going to conduct a needs analysis. So that's not us, not you and I, but the parties in play are going to conduct a needs analysis. They're going to want to know about where they need to live, how far to school, and what kind of special needs or hospitals or place of worship, schools, districts. Where are you looking for? What's the area and such? All that information is going to go to the real estate specialists, and those real estate specialists are going to help those folks identify and purchase a property. They're going to be represented by a professional real estate agent. They're going to have the protection they need. They're going to have professional escrows. They're going to have professional lenders. We're going to have professional grant providers. This is a professional program, and I want to step back for a second. And look, I'm excited. You hear it in my voice, right? And I may sound a little yokey to you. I may sound a little clown-like, right? Because I'm so excited. But you could participate in a profession. And this is a brand new profession. This whole idea of writing grants for people, being a grant writer in this market, this is a brand new profession. But you could be a professional in the real estate industry in a powerful way, making significant and powerful improvements to people's lives. It's a professional standing. Professional grant writers, professional mortgage folks, professional processors, professional escrow experts, professional real estate experts. And we become part of that important and essential team as professionals. And frankly, your skill set, whether you're beginning or you've been at it for years like I have, it's going to grow and improve and change. And participating in a company like this, you're going to learn more about business and about marketing and about real estate. It's going to continue to grow and grow. So that when you wake up in the morning, you can be excited that you're doing something good for you and your family. You can be excited that you're doing something good for the people you're communicating with. And you can feel a certain amount of integrity that I am a professional, a valued and important professional in the community. So if you're meeting your team, once you've worked, I got all that about the team. I was all excited. Once you've completed the whole grant, and then you've gone through the lender gives you approval, and then you're going to be introduced to one of our preferred real estate agents, and you're going to be part of that team with those preferred real estate agents. You'll begin the process, hand it off, then they'll hand it off, eventually until they got real estate agents and escrow folks. There's all traditional, all transaction traditional, nothing unusual out of normal here. Nobody's getting caught up into something. And I'm going to go back a little bit here. I want to mention something. Once you get into the purchase phase, right? Folks are going to need to have a little money. You got to be able to have some earnest money. If you got somebody's coming in with 0, 0, 0 in their bank account, that may not go so well for them. Because in order to buy a piece of real estate, even today with, quote, no money down, you still got to have some earnest money. And, there's appraisals, folks. Somebody's got to pay for some appraisal, and that's going to be the borrower. And oftentimes there needs to be inspection, right? And so there should be some money the borrower anticipates involving with. But I want to go back to that and say, we are using appraisals. We are using home inspections. We are encouraging people to have significant earnest money deposits such. This is a traditional, there's no kind of, weird, unusual kind of play here. All right, so you signed your purchase agreement. You got your earnest money deposits in place. Your earnest money deposit is never paid to us. We never take cash. We never take money. Earnest money never comes to fund my home. It goes directly to escrow, right? And that's part of the earnest. It'll be protected through the local laws and customs of the real estate community and through the local escrows and such. In some states, they use independent escrow services. In the West, we tend to do more escrow services. In the East, they'll be doing attorneys. Whatever's the local custom, we're going to participate that as far as the purchase agreement goes. Okay, so this is where it gets exciting. You've got a client that says, hey, Marcia, hey, Jay, hey, Larry, hey, Chow, I want to buy a house. Can you help me? Well, absolutely. Let me help you. And we get them through this process so that they can get their grant approval, get their loan approval, get their real estate agent involved, open escrow, et cetera, et cetera. The moment they put that money into escrow, then that starts triggering our payday. Now, how big is our payday? And if you can see right there on that page, right about the middle, there's a number that says $3,200. And that's when that's where his energy and enthusiasm, that's why it's real. This isn't some con job. Jay's excited. I'm excited. Steve's excited. Carlos, we have a mechanism to pay $3,200 through 8 generations of leadership so that we can have a company that helps people accomplish the American dream of buying a house by having more down payment money. Now, I defy you to show me a better business opportunity than a compensation schedule of $3,200 going through 8 generations, 8 leadership levels, and your product is to help people to get grants and down payment assistance. It's an amazing thing. I've always been in the financial world. I don't like, and I have a tax practice, I'm in finance, I don't like dealing with inventory. I don't want to have a garage full of soap. I don't want to have to dealing with inventory. I don't want to have investing and all that kind of stuff. There's no investment here, guys. It's $175 to participate, but there's no investment. You don't have to fill your garage. You don't have to have a storefront. You don't have to be tracking all this kind of stuff. I love that about service businesses. But you know what? Most of my life, I've been in the business trying to sell people money. Well, sign here and you owe us back. And, I've been in the mortgage industry, or I've been trying to sell a piece of real estate, whatever. We're not selling real estate. We're not selling money. We are offering grants that never have to be paid back. And we get paid $3,200 through 8 generations of leadership. That's I just get, wow, that's really exciting. So we're going to wire transfer. Once all the money's going to be wire transferred into the escrow. It's a traditional escrow closing process. The buyer's going to get the keys. Everybody's excited. As far as I know, Stephen was out in Orlando this afternoon. And why I'm on the call is because Stephen was recording yet one of our transactions so that we can share with and use in our videos and other production materials. Very traditional, nothing to be afraid of, normal transaction. The only thing we insert into it is let's put in some down payment money that could be used for down payment. It may even on exception be used to pay down a little credit, improve a credit score, pay off a judgment, small things like that. Because our mission is what? To help people buy a house. What a great mission. I love that. So coming soon, what are we going to do? Well, these guys have got such a vision that there are other folks in this country that have caught their vision in a huge way. And we are anticipating that in the next 15 days or less, that we're going to have a nationwide cable network television campaign running in almost every state, over 40 states, that's going to generate
Tens and tens and tens of thousands of phone calls. Tens and tens. Now, estimates are between 500,000 and 800,000 phone calls on this thing. These guys have done this before with other products and other services. They know how to anticipate inbound calls. And these phone calls are going to come to a processing center. They're going to get screened, and then they're going to get transferred to who? To you and me, to us that are the trained affiliates in the field. Now, I've been charged by Stephen and Carlos to help write a training program. It's a testing, a certification testing program. We're going to certify you. It's a simple. We just want to make sure you're competent. That you know you're comfortable on the phones. You know how to answer questions, and you're going to go through a short testing process. And that testing process, then once that's occurred, then you're going to be qualified to start receiving national telephone transfers, live leads. Now, I want to back off a little bit. Carlos, Steve, Larry, we don't control those leads. That's a national independent center, right? And they're going to pass out those leads appropriately, how they deem appropriate. So I just want to be clear: is that if you're asking, hey, how do I get the leads? How do I get that stuff? Hey, we got that whole group. They got their telemarketing center. That they receive, not telemarketing. They got their telephone center. They're going to get all those calls, and then they're going to distribute those calls based upon the programs that they've set up that they know is going to be successful. But I expect a whole lot of us are going to have enormous success in participating in this national television rollout. Now, that leads to our goal is to have 1 million new home buyers. 1 million new home buyers, 1 million new people. Now, I'm going to talk politics for a second, folks, and I don't know whether that's okay with Steve or not. He gave me the microphone. But I'm worried. I'm worried about the division in this country. I'm worried that there's a lot of people who have not participated fully in what America's all about. And I think some of them have had a pretty rough start. Some of them have been beat on a little more than the rest of us have. I've paid some dues, but I think some other folks that have paid a lot more dues to get where they are. And I think it's a great thing that we could get 1 million new homeowners. Think about the difference between a tenant and a homeowner in the way that they show up in their community, the way they show up in their schools, stability, how they vote for parks and fire and roads, the way they treat their neighbors. I mean, 1 million new people who are homeowners that once weren't. I think it's a great thing for bringing us together and helping those folks to fully participate in the American dream. So that's my little plug on the politics. I apologize if that's offending anybody. You can fire me. I probably won't be invited back. So it all starts with us, folks. It starts with you, and our goal is to pay it forward. Let me show you how that works. So there's a new calculator, by the way, and I'm sure that Steve or somebody's going to go over that later. But there's a new page. If you go to your page, remember I said if you sign up, you're an affiliate with us, you're going to get this entire software system that you can log on to online to be assigned directly to you. Well, inside your software system is a down payment calculator. And in that down payment calculator, it's an estimate. It helps people to kind of get a sense of what we're doing. But there's all kinds of new features and such in that calculator. But the key point here is that let's look at this $250,000 purchase without Fund My Home would have likely needed $20,477 in down payment. And estimated cash to close after home buyer assistance from fundmyhome.org, $4,977. Now, it doesn't take much to figure out that delta is $15,000. $15,000. We're doing some phenomenal things to help people. So, 2 parts of the American dream. 1 part, buy a home. If you haven't bought a home yet, we want to help you. Can you help yourself? Nope. You got to work with somebody above you. That's part of the game. You can't write your own grant. Sorry. Thanks for playing. But once you participate in us, your initial compensation for writing a grant, for being the introductory party of a grant, we'll call it, you're going to get paid $750. $750 for every single grant that you help us to initiate. That's pretty darn good money. I'll tell you what, I've got a tax practice, I got a lending practice in real estate, and I can tell you the amount of time I'm spending writing grants, and I've been writing a variety of applications, the amount of time I'm spending is a whole lot less than I was doing complex tax returns or doing significant loan transactions or being involved in real estate transactions. This is great money. It's great money, paid $750. When you're going to see for the amount of time you spend for $750, it's no wonder Jay's excited and sounds like he's just so happy on the phone. It's no wonder Larry's excited and having a great time. It's no wonder Steve and Carlos are just ecstatic. This is a great opportunity. If you could just make $750 for every grant you wrote, this would be a good day. Game, set, match. Take me home. Sign me up. Off we go. But you know, the old radio says, wait, there's more. So if you sponsor 3 personal associates who then just do 1 program per month, 3 associates who have 1 grant per month, your average potential monthly income is $2,250. That's you, your best buddy, somebody you knew at work, and the mailman decide that they want to participate, and each one of you do 1. That's $2,250 a month. Amazing income for the amount of time involved. And this thing starts building. But if you sponsor 8 people, just 8, and each new associate that you sponsor, if they do just 1, what you can end up with is a phenomenal income. Now let's watch through that. $20,350 potential average monthly income when you sponsor 8, who then sponsor 1 associate each, and each of them produces 1 unit per year. Get that straight. 1 unit per year, not per month. You sponsor 8 of your buddies and family members and people you respect and love, because this is a great profession to be in, and they go out and they sponsor 1 each. 1 each. And then everybody does 1 product per year. And your potential average monthly income, because of this powerful compensation system, is how much? $20,350 a month. Our goal is the American dream. Is home ownership for our clients, financial freedom for us. And I'll tell you what, it starts getting a whole lot better. There's many times in my life when I've made in these numbers. I'm not doing it today, honest. My body's all broken up and I'm having some challenges physically. But I'll tell you what, $20,000 a month, things get a so lot better. Been there, a lot of fun. But then we start saying, well, what if we did more? Well, if they just did 2 associates and they did 1 application per year, we're at $23,000 a month in income. And then it just gets nuts. If you had 8 sponsors and they just went out and did 3, and each one of them did 1 application per year, your average monthly income, this is unbelievable. This is why Jay and I get so excited. It is unbelievable. $212,495 average monthly income per month. 212. Phenomenal stuff, folks. Phenomenal stuff. So there is a payroll program. There's some transitions going on in the payroll program, but we do work with an independent payroll provider. It's called Uro. There's a little bit of a fee to participate with Uro to get started, a little bit on a monthly basis. No pain, not a major player. I've gotten signed up with Uro. I know there's some things working through the downline and such. We'll get it all worked out, and off we go. Let me tell you. I'm gonna stop with this slide for a second. I want you to understand where we are today. We are on the edge of a phenomenal sea state change in the American mortgage and home buying process. And it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be everything that everybody wants it to be. It's going to be great. But every day we're going to learn more, we're going to build more, we're going to understand the checks and the balances and the problems and the gotchas, and we're going to work through it. I have great confidence in Stephen and Carlos. I know that they care. I know they're trying. And this is a pre-launch phase business model, okay? We are not doing business every day in every way in every state in the United States today. Our intention is to be ready and to get a team together to take on this massive flow of people that are coming from this telephone or from these TV ads. But don't think for a moment that everything's perfect. There's plenty of evidence that, oh, gee, this isn't what I want. Great. I trust my gut. I trust my heart. I'm associated with some great people who have a mission of doing some great things, and that's where I want to be. And if you look back in your life, if you've got some life experience, I know you've looked back in your life and you've seen where people were in the beginnings, the very beginnings of some really great things. And I don't want to mention some of the household names because it sounds kind of braggadocious, but if you think some of the great household names, some people you've watched their biographies on TV and movies and such, there are some great people who did some great things and they started exactly where we are. And I see this vision carrying us forward in a phenomenal way. So there's no products to sell. There's no products to consume. There's no licensure concerns. We don't have any FTC concerns. We're not a pyramid. We don't take a dime. We don't make a dime from signing people up, that kind of thing. This is the highest income potential that I have ever seen. I mean, I just showed you. It's just math, folks. And it's a phenomenal program. We're backed up with some great folks with some huge financial backings, with some terrific TV advertising, some terrific systems, and we're excited to move forward.
I just wanted to reach out just to let you guys know that Carlos just sent me something today. This is Heidi. I just wanted to let you guys all know there's an app coming out. It looks great. It has everything that we need on it. It's awesome. It has our personal information on it. It's coming out really soon.
Yep.
He sent it this afternoon to me.
Yeah, and thank you, Heidi. Great. And this is my point. Not everything's perfect today. It's coming, it's building, it's growing. But I don't want to wait 6 months to get involved in that kind of esteem. I want to build it now. And so anyway, I got all fired up. I appreciate it. My name is Larry Ferris. I appreciate the chance to spend some time with you. I am, I can take a few questions if you'd like. Unmute yourself, tell me your name, and ask your question.
Hey, Larry.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Jay Bernard Jackson. I'll close the call out as soon as you're done, okay?
All right, Jay, that'd be great.
All right, cool. As soon as everybody's finished, I'll close everything out.
Hey, I just want to reach out to everybody also, this is Heidi again. And if you don't know how to open up the ORU to sign up, go to orupartners.com. There's a platform under the member section, tells you exactly how to sign up on ORU.
There we go. Who's got some questions tonight? How can I help you?
Yeah. Hey, this is Beyonce Pendleton. I got a question.
Beyonce, sir, nice to meet you. Where are you from?
Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Milwaukee. Well, where many are cold and few are frozen. I hope you stay warm in the morning.
You're right. I have a question because, I've already signed up with fundmyhome.org.
Yeah.
The website, in order to make the donation for the $175, I try to make the donation, but the link on the page, it sends me to the PayPal page.
Yep.
Once it sends me to the PayPal, it says that the merchant is not able to accept anything right now at this time. I don't know if anybody else has had that issue also.
Haven't run into it, and that'd be something for the next guys the next day, or check in tomorrow with the office. I'm sorry about that. I don't have any resources for you. I'm out here in Arizona. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got some alternate payment methods, and Mark Hamlin sent those over to me. I'm Paul Maselli here in Clearwater. So Mark has those alternate payment methods.
Great. And work that out. Let's not confuse that. The payment process is realestatemortgagegrants.org. That's the only thing we're announcing tonight. We don't want any money going someplace it shouldn't be going. So we'll deal with that tomorrow. If Stephen wants to talk about alternative payment plans, that's fine. But that's not anything I'm authorized to talk about. Who's got another question?
Sure. I do have a couple questions for you. I actually sent them in the chat. I don't know if you can see them, but thank you for the great presentation. And people have been asking me, where's the money come from? Even just where does the 3,200 come from?
Okay, so let me tell you Carlos's story, right? Carlos's answer is, it's none of your business.
Yeah, really.
Right? And it isn't. Carlos and Steven have cracked a golden egg. They've nailed it, right? And if they wanted to tell the world about where their money came from, they can do that. But if they do you think we still have a business opportunity left by the time Chase and Wells Fargo figures out what they figured out?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let me tell you what my story is, okay? There are 1,300 organizations in the United States that are trying to get this done. There's a lot of piles of money out there. And these smart guys have figured out how to, in my opinion, I believe these smart guys have figured out how to stack up multiples of those piles of money to make it really make sense. And so one of the things I would challenge you to do, if you have any credibility about where the money comes from, and I always introduce my team to this right away, go to Google, but search news.google.com. News.google.com. When you put news in front of Google, it will only index news sites. Now, you and I can both argue about whether that's legitimate news or not. That's another call, all right? But they're only going to search under the news sites, and then type in down payment assistance, and you're going to see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of announcements. Milwaukee's got $5 million. Texas got $40 million. California's doing $26,000. You're going to see it all over the place. So the first thing is, do we know, is there an industry that has hundreds of millions of dollars in the United States today that is already trying to deploy down payment assistant grants? Can you answer that?
Do you think that, and I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but do you know that?
No, I didn't quite follow the whole thing. Sorry.
Okay, there are 1,300 organizations already existing in the U.S. that are trying to give away down payment money.
Okay.
And so, and Carlos and Steven are going to say, what we do and how we do it is not your business. It's proprietary. And that's the fancy word, right? It's proprietary. But
Right.
what they're saying is, we're not telling you because this is our golden goose. This is the way we're going to get our mission done. Pardon me. But if you think about it, well, there's already 1,300 organizations. They're tapping into hundreds of millions of dollars. And of course, Steven and Carlos have figured out how to tap into that. They're doing it smarter, better, faster, more appropriate. The money's out there. The money's out there.
Great. And would it be the same answer then for where the grant money comes from? I guess that 3,200 is peanuts compared to the grant money.
Exactly right. The $3,200 is part of flow. It's part of the process. As they stack together a variety of sources of money. And here's the other side I want to be clear about. If I work for a government agency, right? If we were a government, we could say, well, you can or cannot do one thing or another. You know what I'm saying? They'll have all kinds of. Hang on a second here. They could say, and I just muted it if you want to come back on. They could, a government agency can say, well, you can't have this money unless you're poor, or low income, or you can't have this money unless you're, from you live in a certain zip code or something. They can do all kinds of things that are discriminatory. We can't. This is a private 501c3 foundation. We're not discriminatory. So if we access the same pots of money that other down payment grants could have, we have to give those pots of money away in a way that's less discriminatory than what they are. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And if I may, people have asked, well, how does the company get paid or the organization? And to me, again, it's like, well, what do you care really? But they've got something figured out.
Same answer. Three answers.
But they do ask.
Same answer. Oh, of course, but same answer. So one of the ways to help your people is take them to news.google.com and then search for down payment grants. I'm not saying send them to those down payment grants because they're awful. There are all kinds of problems. But at least show them the credibility that there's all kinds of programs all over the country. And if they're able to fund themselves, we're able to fund themselves. There's a credibility, right? They're getting it done. They're just not doing it well. We're just, we're solving it. We're doing it better. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And the last comment, if I may, is that for you guys to pay us, whether the deal goes through or not, is like, wow, what big-hearted and kind and considerate people for compensating for the work and the effort that didn't have to get paid on.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One is we don't want to be anywhere near licensure, right? So we are in the grant business, right? We are in the 501c3 foundation grant world, and that's how we get paid. We are not in the real estate transaction business. We're not real estate agents. We're not loan officers. We're not escrow providers. We're not attorneys, right? We get paid for the grant. And so if the grant gets approved and it gets through its trigger, then we get paid. And as Carlos said in that beautiful accent of his, I love that guy. Hey, if they're not going to use the money for this house, they're going to buy another one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, who else? A couple more questions.
Yeah. I got a question. This is Ramon.
Ramon, where you at, buddy?
I'm in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Oh, nice to see you.
Thank you. So real quick, what happens if you're already an old room member from like way back when?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I have no idea. You got the wrong guy on the call tonight.
Okay. All right. No problem.
I'm sure somebody's got an answer for you. It'll work through. You'll figure it out. But I don't have an answer directly. I'm brand new to Oru and just figuring it out myself. Sorry about that, friend. Glad to have you. Glad to see you. You got a good looking,
Thank you very much.
Smile there. Good looking smile. I don't put my ugly mug up. It's I would frighten the heck out of you guys if I put my face up. But good for you. Any other questions?
This is Roberta. I have a question because you said.
Roberta, are you up in Idaho?
Yes.
Hi. Hey, thanks for taking care of Chris. I think you guys are getting along pretty well.
Well, I hope so. Are you the one that sponsored her?
I did. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
And I love her dearly. She's like a sister to me.
Well, I'd like to see some more from Idaho get involved.
Absolutely. What's up, Roberta? How can we help you?
You said that if the grant, then we get paid. I thought they had to apply for the loan with the grant, whether the loan went through or not.
Okay, perfect question. Let me answer that. So I misspoke or something. So here's how it's going to work. They apply for the grant. When they apply for the grant, they simultaneously apply for the loan. When they get approved for both the grant and the loan, they go out shopping. When they get the house under contract, and I know you're a real estate person, Roberta, I believe. So when they get the house under contract, that's when we get paid, is under contract. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I thought it was.
Yeah, and if I misspoke, I apologize. Thanks for calling me out on that.
So I don't know if you can answer this question or not, but I am a licensed realtor. I've been in real estate for 40 years.
My condolences.
How could I become the designated agent in this area? And can I still maintain my associate bracket?
You know, I've heard that question asked 100 times, and the answer has always been they're not looking for new associates right now, and I would expect that you probably wouldn't want to do that. This is not a program that generates leads for real estate agents or for loan officers. Now, if you're a selling agent, if you're selling and you're listing all the time, then this is probably a good program to refer your buyers to. But if you're trying to be a buyer's agent, you know, it's not the place for you to be finding leads and such. It's not going to work that way.
Well, I'm not saying I would be the agent for the person I sponsored. I'm saying, can I be both?
No, I understand, but I'm saying is I've heard this answer over and over, and the answer is they're not looking, they're not open, they're not seeking new agents, and our role here is all about grants, and that's what we focus on.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions, folks?
Yeah, I'm
okay,
Rodney from Macon, Georgia.
Hey, is it Rodney or Ronnie with a D or not?
It's Ronnie, Ronnie.
Ronnie from Macon, Georgia. Good to hear from you, sir.
Okay, good to hear you. I like the program, and I'm looking. I'm definitely going to get involved. My daughter is in a pre-qualification stage of finding a home and so forth down the line. Can she still benefit from this year, even though she's in a pre-qualification stage?
Yes and no. If she's so far down the stream that she signed compensation agreements with real estate agents, or if she's already made an offer on a house and it's been accepted, then she's too far downstream. The process is to start with us first, then get the loan approval, then go shop. We have a systemized process. Some people, and let's be clear, folks, some people we're not going to serve. Some people are too far into that process, and it would be very difficult for them to back up and start over. It's perfectly fine. We want to help 1 million new homeowners. It doesn't have to be every new homeowner. Right. So once they've made an offer with a real estate agent, once they've gotten past that into that offer and acceptance phase, they got a real estate agent under contract or they have a home under contract. Either one of those, they're past us.
Got you. Okay. Thank you very much.
But nevertheless, you may want to see if they want to back up the boat a little bit and participate with us starting fresh. Okay, let's take one more question. And at the end of this question, I kind of run over. At the end of this question, then when this question's over, Jay, you'll be ready and you'll sign us off. This will be our last question. Jay, Steve's going to be on tomorrow. You guys will be able to pin him down and run all kinds of stuff. It's been exciting for me. I appreciate it.
Is there a question that maybe I can help? What was the question that I wasn't right by my computer when? What was the question somebody had that maybe
we're just gonna ask for one more question, and then Jay's gonna close us out. We're running long, and I'm just saying, hey, I appreciate the chance I've had to be here tonight and the honor that Steven's given to me. Let's ask one more question. Who is it?
Okay. So I got two questions. So
who's this?
This is Keely in Orlando.
Hey, Keely, good to see you, man.
So basically, the call tomorrow will be the same. Zoom numbers and everything else?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it kind of fall in line the previous question that was just asked. So like, like a client, say if they don't get along with the realtor or whatever is preferred, can they eventually choose their own, or do they have to stay in line with the whatever, the lender and the realtor that you guys put up and, home inspector that you guys
let me answer this way. What's a typical purchase price there out there in Atlanta? You're in Atlanta, you said?
No, Orlando. I honestly don't.
Okay, so $250,000, $300,000. They have to decide if they want to participate with us. And if they want to participate with us, they're going to start with a grant. They're going to go through our preferred lender. They're going to go with our real estate agent. Probably work with our. We're going to go through the process, and for that, they're going to benefit in a significant financial way. That's the answer. And let's not try to flex around it. Let's not try to bend the system. Let's not try to kink it. We have a system. It's going to work. Look, folks, in a very short period of time, we're going to have thousands of associates across the country. That's fait complete. That's done. It's going to be there. You don't want
You guys are going to have my number 72. My guy that recruited me is number 71. Your number is going to be in the 3 and 4, 500 number right now. I don't know, somewhere around there. You don't want it when we're dealing with 6-digit members. You don't want to have a bunch of flexibility in this thing. You want it to work and not everybody making it up as we go. So when we're going to the marketplace, we're going to the marketplace to help people who want to start with us and walk through the process. If they've gotten ahead, that's okay. Let them stay ahead. But we can't kink the system. We can't kink the system. I am so grateful to be here tonight. I have had a wonderful time with you. You've been very respectful. I appreciate you letting me kind of be here and play this game tonight. I really believe this is a phenomenal business opportunity. Jay?
Good job, Larry. This is Steve. You're up line. Good job.
I'm making this guy tons of money. He's going to be freaking rich.
You're awesome.
If he's not coming on, can I ask at what point does the ORU kick in? When you start making commissions?
All right.
I heard it all right.
Yeah, go ahead, Larry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm going to finish up the Oro thing. Look, guys, I'm not an expert in Oro. I can tell you about the business model. It's a great business model. We're going to have more people later on, and there's going to be some things worked out there. And I don't think we need to take time to get it tonight. We've had a great call, a lot of answers, a lot of good folks participating from all across the country. And if Jay, are you there now?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. When you're done, Jay, I'll shut off the video and we'll put it in the bank.
You got it. Well, wow, Larry. Thank you for that awesome presentation. And what an exciting moment it is, folks. If you've been basically looking, folks, for a professional outfit, an exciting wealth platform, and to work with a family, folks, that simply cares about you, my goodness, folks, without question, you've just found it. You see, folks, here's the bottom line. If nothing happens, nothing is going to happen. You see, folks, I encourage you today to get back to the person who invited this call. And remember this, folks, that you are looking for an opportunity. The million-dollar question is this, folks. What are you going to do with the power you just heard? You've got two choices. Number one, you can simply sit back. You can take it all in, and you can simply procrastinate. Or number two, folks, you can procrastinate about getting started. Or number two, you can simply take the opportunity right now and make a massive decision to make massive action. You see, folks, here's the bottom line. Massive action equals massive results. And we all know, folks, winners are not born. They're simply created. And at the bottom line, folks, it's decision time right now. So I want to encourage you today, until right now you realize that you have the power. You need the motivation. You need the inspiration. The day to make that decision, folks, is right now. Remember, folks, you don't have the time to simply spend time wasting time. I'm going to say that one more time. You don't have the time to spend time wasting time. The hourglass of all of our life is simply almost over. Life is simply like a momentary vapor, folks. It appears for the moment, and then suddenly you look, and it's simply gone. Take the time today, folks. Make the time today and make a decision, and simply just pull the trigger. You see, success awaits you, right, friend? But here's the bottom line. You've got to harness the power. The best time in life to plant a tree was 20 years ago. Well, the next best time to put a seed in the ground is right now. I encourage you today, folks, to get back to the person who simply invites you to this call and simply say, I'm in. I'm Jay Bernard Jackson, simply reminding you, folks, if not now, when? Now is the time to simply make the decision, folks, not to dream, but simply dream big. And I'll see you in the winner's circle. We'll hope to see you tomorrow night on our call, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. In the meantime, to your success, this is Jay Bernard Jackson. Bye for now.